Hi, Raven here. Just before we get started, if you find this video useful or you just enjoyed watching, then please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. And if you wish to support me further, there's a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description. Thanks very much. Now back to it. I've had quite a few requests to cover how to add audio somehow into tasks, and also how to add images into tasks. That's what this tutorial is going to cover. I'm actually going to cover both, and this little demo I've got here will just show you it briefly, and then what I'll do is we'll go through how to actually set it up. So this little demo I've got here is kind of what you would have sort of in the middle of a mission. So we're going to assume that our guy's been given intel to go to this office, and then we'll take it from there. So we'll play the scenario and it will hopefully make sense. Right, so here we go, load it in. Task assigned, locate the intel. Task assigned, check the voicemail. So if we go to our tasks, you can see our parent mission there. Our parent task is locate the intel, and the child task is check the voicemail. So check the phone's voice messages for any intel. So let's see if we can find the phone. So there's our phone. So hold space to listen to message. We'll do that.
I've hidden the package for you to collect whilst I'm not here. As you leave the warehouse, follow the road on the left, which comes to a dead end. When you are level with the underside of the bridge, leave the road and head towards the sea. The package is hidden behind some crab cages. I'll email you a picture of it.
So there we go. So we've been given some sort of directions to locate a package, and you can see I've added this little thing here. So message transcript saved to task descriptions. So just to continue that, and we've completed. So what we'll do, and now we've got a new task, but if we go to the tasks, you can see that the description's now changed, because before it just said listen to the messages. So now we've got a transcript. So it depends how you want to set your mission up. You can either, which I've done there, have it so that you can keep repeating the message just in case you didn't hear it all the first time, or if you want to be a little bit harder on the player, you can just have it play once and have it put in the transcript like this, or just play once to be really unfair, and if they missed it, then they missed it. So we've got and I'll show you how to do this in a minute. So we've got a new task, check laptop for any images. So we click on that, open the laptop and check it for any images that may be useful. So let's go to laptop, hold space to open. Oh, and there's a pretty useful image there, and again, image saved to task description. Click OK, and then if we go back to our tasks, you can see that image is now in our tasks description. So obviously if we leave this office and we forget what the crab cages look like, we can just go to our tasks and find it. So our message, hidden the package, as you leave the warehouse, follow the road on the left, which comes to a dead end. So let's get in the car. So as we leave, we'll go left, and we see it comes to a dead end. It said stop under the bridge. When you get under the bridge, head towards the sea. So we'll head towards the sea, and there's some crab cages, and there's our package. So that could be a little part of your mission. So now we'll just go through how we set it up. Okay, so we have a few props inside the office just to make it look good, but the key ones are the phone, which is called phone 1, and the laptops. So laptop open and laptop closed, as you see there. That's how I managed to animate it. But what we're actually looking at is the tasks. So there's only a few tasks here because this is only a snippet of a mission. It's not a whole mission. So our very first task that pops up is our parent task. So if we open that up, locate the intel. You can see it's laid out pretty simple. The trigger to fire it is just true, which means when the mission starts, this trigger will fire, and I've set it to delay for 3 seconds so we don't miss it, because it might take a while to load in, and that's always something to check when you make a mission, is to load into the mission, because the bigger your mission is, the longer it's going to take to load in. So you might have to adjust these values so that you don't miss this pop-up. So load in the mission. After 3 seconds that fires, which sends our first task. And then we've also got the first subtask. So check the voicemail, again simply laid out. Now this is the key part. In the description, check the phone's voice messages for any intel. So this is the first description, so we change it later. The trigger again is true, so this will fire when the mission starts, but this has a delay of 5 seconds. So that's 2 seconds after this one. And the reason I do that is because if you had them both fire after 3 seconds, they would fight each other for the notification, and it would just be pot luck as to which one would pop up first. And you don't want the subtask popping up before the parent task, because it just will look weird. So that's why. So if we open that trigger up again, so on activation, when this does fire, we want it to run this SQF file, and I'll go through that in a minute. So basically all that's doing is that's adding the hold action to our phone, and then it's going to, once we've completed the hold action, it's then going to fire this, the SQF file will fire this trigger here, and then on that activation it will give us this message. So message transcript saved to task description. So in addition, what we've done is we've added a set task description. So if we open that up, so this is the transcript of that voicemail. So basically this description will replace this description because it comes afterwards. And that's how you sort that out. So the voicemail I did with an audio clip. I made my own audio clip, and I've done a tutorial on how to do that, so I'm not going to go through that. You'll see it on the SQF file in a little bit when we go through it as to how to call it up. So the next thing we're going to go through is the second subtask. Open that up. So this one is check laptop for any images. So again, simple layout, but this is our description to begin with. Open the laptop and check it for any images that may be useful. That's what we see initially. So that one's triggered on this condition here. So when this trigger is activated, after 5 seconds it will fire this task, which is fine. And then what we've got here, this trigger here, after 2 seconds we are going to add, or we're going to call up this SQF file, which basically adds the hold function to the laptop, and then allows us to play about with the laptop, which again I'll show you on the SQF file in a minute. So we fired the task, and then we've got the interaction with the laptop, And now to complete that task, we've got this trigger here. So trigger laptop open finish, that's the condition, and that is fired by the SQF file. So when the SQF file is finished, this trigger will fire, which will complete that task and also at the same time give the task a new description. And in this case, we are going to add the image. So if we open that up, so the description is now, I've put download image and then next line and then this code here. So if you put that in there, this will call up that image in your task. So copy and paste it exactly how it is, and I will go through it. What you need to remember is this bit here, which I'll go through in a minute. So images, that's the folder that this JPEG is in, and that's it. And then this last one is just giving us that that hint that we have to OK. It's just basically letting us know what's happened. So if you're giving this to a player and they've got the info there and then they run off to do the mission and they go, oh, I can't remember where it was, it's just basically telling them or reminding them that that info is in their tasks now. So you don't have to put that in there. I just like doing that to cover all bases. So that's it. What I'll do now is go through the SQF files and then some of this might start making a bit more sense. Right, I'm in the mission folder now, and as you can see I've got two folders. I've got images folder and sounds folder. Now you would have seen the sounds folder before when I did the how to create sounds tutorial, and the description ext. The description ext is just for the sounds, so I'm not going to cover that again. If you want to know how to create sounds and add them into mission, go and check out that tutorial. But if I just open up there, you can see the voicemail OGG is in there, and the description ext is set up just to call that up. The init is just basic. All I've got here is laptop open hide, because obviously I've flipped them over and you'll see that in a minute. So when the mission starts, the laptop open, I've called it laptop open, but it's in the open laptop, is hidden. So with that now, we'll open up the phone SQF file. So for those of you who have seen my tutorial on how to add hold actions, or you just know how to do that, you'll be familiar with this layout. I have put sort of notes on the side so you can sort of see what they do and how to change it and why you should change it. But if I just go through it quickly, so phone 1, that's what I've called the phone. Listen to message, that is the hold action message that pops up. You press spacebar on, that's what it says, listen to message. This here, talk, that's the icon that I just chose, the little speech bubble. You can choose whatever you want. This is the distance that it will pop up, so just leave that as it is. Again, go to the hold actions tutorial I did if you want to look at changing the icons. I'm playing about with this. But the important bit is, so when we interact with the phone will then play the voicemail. So play the voicemail, and then 19 seconds later, so the reason I've got 19 seconds is this voicemail takes just over 18 seconds to play in its entirety. So I've obviously waited for 19 seconds just after the voicemail finishes, and then fire the trigger. So that's the trigger being fired. Now what I've done down here, remove on completion, I've put false. Now depending on how hard you want to make it, this is making it easy. So basically the player can go and interact with the phone again and play the message again. But if you said true, you'd only be able to interact with it once and then not anymore. And then you could add in something else saying, give the player a message saying message deleted after they've listened to it. So it's up to you how hard you want to make it for them. So that's how we add in, or that's how I would add in audio into a task. So let's go to the laptop SQF. So again, it's a hold action. So laptop closed, that's the one we're interacting with. I'm going to use the search icon, so it's like a little spyglass. Same distance. So what happens when we interact? So laptop closed, hide object true. So we're hiding the closed laptop, and then immediately we're showing the open laptop, and then we are firing this trigger, which I showed you in the game, and that's it. And obviously I've put true down there because we only want them to be able to do that once. So that's it. That's how you add an image and audio into tasks. I will put the code into the comments, and again I will put this mission into, I'll zip it up and put it into my Dropbox, that way you can download it, put it into your mission folder and play about with it, open the mission up and see how I've done it. Okay, hope that was helpful.